The Epstein files, as well as JFK and Martin Luther King. The updates coming from Pam Bondi. This was over the weekend. She was talking to Mark Levin. Information you need to know. This is good stuff.
I want to get into this Epstein thing a little bit. I think the American people are very curious about who's on this list or these lists. You have been doggedly trying to get all the information. And now we learn, thanks to you, that you've been stonewalled by people in New York. Do you want to explain that?
Yes, Mark. So as you know, we released about 120 pages of documents, and I started asking for these documents right when I came into office and before Kash Patel was in there. So I ended up getting about 120 pages. We carefully redacted them, of course, to be sure the 254 young girls, women who are victims of sex crimes and sex trafficking, their personal information was redacted and out of there to protect them. So I'm going through it and I kept saying, there has to be more, there has to be more. I'm assured that's it. Kash asked the same questions. Assured there's no more. I found out, this week that a source told me New York, SDNY, they're sitting on thousands of pages of documents regarding Epstein. Thousands. And of course, you've seen the very strong letter. We will get everything. We will have it in our possession. We will redact it, of course, to protect grand jury information and confidential witnesses. But the American people have a right to know. And Donald Trump is the most transparent president in our nation's history. So not only will America get the full Epstein files, they will get JFK, they will get Martin Luther King.
And that is full transparency. This is exactly what America is looking for. This is an image of the letter that she had written to everybody. Quote, I repeatedly questioned whether this was the full set of documents responsive to my request and was repeatedly assured by the FBI that we had received the full set of documents. Late yesterday, I learned from a source that the FBI field office in New York was in possession of thousands of pages of documents. They're lying to the Attorney General, and this is why they're going to get fired. But the question is, who?
I assume the Southern District of New York is or has been holding on to this information for a reason. That is, they don't like the names on the list. And of course, we know New York is a hotbed of the Democrat Party, and that includes in legal circles. Do you think that's part of the issue here, that they're trying to protect a lot of names and individuals?
Mark, I have not reviewed the information yet. And as a lawyer, as a prosecutor, I want to review everything before I make a firm conclusion. But I think it's very interesting that they withheld that from us. And I will find out who withheld it, and they will not be working for us anymore.
So I love the fact that she held off on making an accusation because she is a lawyer. She's very good at what she does. She was the Attorney General for Florida. She knows how to navigate. But check this out. In the middle is Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. And she's a federal prosecutor for, wait for it, SDNY, Southern District of New York. She was also the lead prosecutor in Ghislaine Maxwell's trial and helped convict her for sex trafficking of minors. So here's the part that's kind of interesting. Ghislaine Maxwell worked right next to Jeffrey Epstein and was heavily involved in this and was prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Yet the list of clients, everything she did, has never come out publicly. It goes on to say she was also involved in the Epstein case before he, quote, died in 2019. That's called being Epsteined now. Nobody believes he died. There's too much in there, and that's a whole other video. So here's the question, and this is where Attorney General Bondi didn't answer with the affirmative on that because she doesn't have all the information. But the same Southern District of New York office now accused of hiding Epstein's files. That seems a little ironic. So let's introduce you to James Dennehy. He's the Assistant Director to the New York FBI Field Office. He sent a resistance email to dig in after Trump won. He is an absolute anti-Trumper, and he's responsible for hiding the Epstein files. Now, whose opinion is that? That's mine. But I'm basing that on way too much circumstantial evidence. So what's going to happen to these people?
For the perpetrators, I assume that we'll see those names, yes?
Well, certainly, there's nothing can be withheld on that. Of course, as you know, grand jury information, anything confidential will be withheld under the law. And we're going to do everything in our power to protect the victims so they're not further victimized also.
All right, very cool. Appreciate that. Again, doing great lawyer stuff. But let's talk about Jack Smith, because Jack Smith was hugely responsible for the weaponization of the DOJ.
Did they store all their materials for you folks to look at when you choose to look at it? Do we know that? Or did they remove or destroy any of it?
Mark, that's what we're looking at now. We're going through all of that. And now that I just got Kash Patel in as FBI director, he's, of course, a tremendous help. I've been in office, barely 2 weeks, and it feels like 2 years. We are going nonstop. We will get to the bottom of that. And as you know, the first thing I did was fire the Jack Smith team. That was the ultimate weaponization of our country and our government.
Jack Smith weaponized the government. He was told very clearly all of the information you have, everything you have used in the prosecution of former President Donald Trump at that point must be saved, cannot be disposed of. And the question comes down to it, did Jack Smith do what he was told to do? Because if not, he's breaking the law and he deserves to get prosecuted. Folks, this isn't weaponization of the government. This isn't about let's go after Donald Trump. This is about a fair and equal judicial system. And that's one of the things that Pam Bondi is so amazing at. I just think the world of this woman, and I think that we are in a better place. The United States is coming back in no small part to her efforts and the efforts of Kash Patel. Let's let AG Bondi put a bow on this for us.
No one's going to be targeted because of their political views or because they are a political opponent. Ended. And, the noise, the chatter, I truly don't listen to it. I'm here to fight for Donald Trump's agenda. I'm fighting for America. That's what we're all doing as a team. We're going to keep going forward. And I can't care. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about what these people say or do. I know I'm doing the right thing to end weaponization for our country. And that's what I'm going to continue to do every single day, Mark.
Folks, that was Pam Bondi and Mark Levin. And if you have a moment, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. I'm pretty sure I get shadow banned a little bit, suppressed down, because we are a little bit on the edge right there. It'd mean the world to me. Let's get to a little bit of humor because this cracks me up. Most of y'all know how much I really admire AOC. I thought this was a great little bit of comedy. Next video playing for you is going to be how our press secretary has completely changed the dynamic of how the press reports on the president. It's no longer controlled by mainstream media. This is the synopsis of stupidity, looking at all the stupid stuff that happens all around us. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you real soon.